Okay. I wish this thing was a little higher, but we're gonna make it do what it does. Okay, let me see if I can take that off. Hey y'all, hey. This is your girl, your friend, Tahiri Divine. You can find me on all my social sites as Tahiri Divine. If you haven't been following my YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe because we're going to be doing a lot more things on this YouTube. I'm trying to figure this thing out. We're going to be doing things. But I create content for practical spirituality through the guise of the Goddess Theology. So if you are interested in being more in alignment with your life through divine feminine principles, through divine principles in general, this is what we do here. So we go through practical spirituality through the law, because the law is perfect. And I love that. I love that for us. So let's get into 2023, y'all. I'm really happy to be with you all, before you all, in this time and in this year, because we are in a new, powerful year. 2022, I love those 222s. It was really, really great. It was a year for me on expanding networking, right? But this is the thing about expanding yourself to network, or expanding yourself to collaborate, or expanding your view of life in a more collaborative way, because we know that we are co-creators, we're co-collaborators with the universe, with the divine. So that to me was kind of what the shaking of 2022 was. It was pairing yourself with right knowledge or wisdom, right people, and even breaking away from certain ideologies or people, and etc. So now that we're in this 2023, I feel like this is more a year of cohesion, because you have been able to decipher, yes, discern, and determine what is best for you, whether it's mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and all of that. So this is why I love 2023, because we're coming in that 7 energy. And I love this number. I'm a life path 7. So this to me is definitely a number resonation of divine power. It is a revelation and coming together of really accessing yourself in a way that is more it's purely attainable, because it's bringing awareness and recognition to the emotional nature of yourself. Because last year, you gotta think about it, with the pairing and dispairing or unpairing, there was a lot of emotions that we had to maneuver. And I know for myself, that was brought up for me with my mentor. One of my mentors was that I need to better manage my emotions. Now, that was a shocker to me, because I felt like I do manage my emotions. I think that I do a really good job at managing my shit. Come to find out, I necessarily really don't. As we really was digging deep, what we were able to conclude, and what I was able to face the truth of, is that I don't manage my emotions. I'm not even a master of my emotions. What I have done, and have continued to have done up to that point, was suppress them. And when I needed to evoke an emotion, or conjure an emotion up, I typically wasn't able to do that at will. For example, crying should be something that is a natural expression, but because of my upbringing, and then just adopting that into adulthood, I did not allow myself to cry, or even feel like, I mean, I would feel sadness, I'll feel grief, and all those other feelings of that hovers within that realm. I would feel it, but I didn't give myself fully to it, to be expressive in it. So what I was coming to the awareness, and now applying this action, was that I need to create healthy avenues for me to feel my emotions. It's not enough to say, okay, I'm upset, or I'm angry, or I feel sad about this. It wasn't enough just to say, to name it. I actually had to claim it, and then be it, and allow it to pass. And that is something that has helped me to realize, in this 2023 year, this 7 year, coming into power means managing your emotions. Forget being a master. No, forget that. That's adept. Work on managing your emotions, because that is where you'll be able to wield your divine power. Because it is to access power and to not have your emotions managed will create chaos unnecessarily. So for me, what I had to do last year was like, okay, I need to, since I'm unable to evoke it out of myself, right? I need to use a buffer or some type of tool to help me dig in. So movies and music. I'm a big music person. I love music. I love all aspects of music, whether it's from the creation to just the enjoyment of it, to the dancing, to the scales and all of it that encompasses music. I love it. So I really curated playlists to the sad emotions. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Pixar movie Inside Out. My 6-year-old has been watching this movie, and we've been utilizing this movie and other tools to help us manage our emotions, because she's a Scorpio moon and I'm an Aries moon, so it's a lot for me to help her get through her own emotions, let alone mine, because mine is pretty much quick and done. She savors her emotions, and she's really in it, and it's intense, and I'm like, but what we have been able to do in this lesson of myself, of learning of my own management of emotions, has been able to transpire that to her and her own emotional nature. So what I have been using is for myself is movies to help me evoke emotion, and then to journal on these emotions that I feel. And then if there is something triggering within it, well, what is the trigger here? Why is this particular movie triggering this memory, this thought? And I don't know if you guys are in the chat, but I see you guys. Hey. I don't know. Like chat, I think I see you guys. Okay, I got the chat on. If you guys are in the chat, let me know how you're feeling, okay? So journaling out my emotions, and then it starts to unpack, oh, this event, this emotion is tied to this event. Okay, let's sit and deal with it. So it was a lot of internal workings that I was working on, because while I'm expanding myself, right, last year, and building conscious connections with people, breaking away consciously from relationships and connections, and just all of the things. So it's the breaking and the pairing, right? That was 2022. And in doing so, a lot of these experiences and relationships were mirroring to me where I see myself. So one example is that I did manifest a friendship that didn't last that long. But what I was able to learn from that friendship is that my own delusions of my own self that I was not willing to see. And because of that, this person was able to mirror that or trigger that within me. It's like, hey, you're self-delusioned. And my self-delusion was thinking that, my self-delusion was not being 100% truthful with myself on what it was that I was experiencing, witnessing, and engaging in. Because we have a filter. I had a filter of friendship. I had a filter of sisterhood. And because I wanted that so bad, right, I was allowing myself to view this person through a filter, then really see them for what they were. Although the signs are always there. Signs are always there. And so that relationship ended, but it ended in a way that put me back deeper into myself. It's like, okay, why am I self-delusioning? Why am I denying myself access to a very important, powerful, necessary part of myself? Because emotions is just energy in motion. And if we're not moving that energy, it stays stagnant. It's like water. Water has to continue to move, which emotions are connected to water. But water has to continually be moving. And if it stays stagnant, it starts to collect dust and grime and algae and bacteria, and it just becomes stale and is no longer living. And that's what happens with us when we're not allowing ourselves and our emotions to move through. We become stale. We become stagnant. And here I am trying to expand, and I'm drying out. Physically, I was drying out because, one, again, the inner is mirroring the outer. It's not the other way around. The outer is mirroring the inner. And because inwardly I was stale and dry. Outwardly, I started to have an aversion to water. It was which I'm a big water drinker, but last year, and particularly the last 2 quarters of the year of 2022, I was having this issue of getting water. And it was very interesting and telling to myself. It's like, okay, this is showing that you are running from your emotions. You're averting your own emotional nature. You are trying to not deal, not heal. And I want to give a special, wonderful shout out to my dear friend Flora, who posted on Facebook today about the act of self-forgiveness and the act of loving kindness. And she was sharing that over the holiday break, her mother had shared with her how she went through some of her old journals, and it was such a beautiful moment for her, and just to read some of her old journals from her younger days and just to reflect on that time. So my friend Flora was like, oh, let me give that a shot. So she went through her old journals that she had from like childhood to like her early 20s. And she did not feel that experience. She started to realize within herself, like, wow, I was unkind, I was deceptive, I was mean, I was these different words that she was seeing about herself as she was reading through these younger journals. And she started to feel like she was undeserving of all the success that she has had up to this point, and that guilt and that shame. And as I was reading her post, I was like, oh, I resonate with that. I totally understand, because when I have started to go through my own emotional work and my own emotional healing and facing these different aspects of myself as a child or as a teenager or as a young adult, I started to feel like, wow, the success and the experiences that I'm having that are positive, I started to feel like I'm undeserving of these. I don't deserve it. And that all comes from the water, because remember, the water also represents memories as well. So I had a lot of stagnant waters still sitting in me that I wasn't willing to, up until that point, before I started to make these active changes to start implementing, evoking my emotions and journaling on them. It really made me face myself and say, girl, you need to have more self-compassion. You need more loving kindness. And you need to now go deeper into this aspect of thinking you deserve some type of punishment, right? From things that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago, or even last week, just early this week. And so this has been a shifting of consciousness for me, because it's like, if we're going to take on this 2023, this 7 energy, this divine power that we want to flow through us, we have to manage our emotions. We cannot allow them to stay stagnant, dormant, or suppressed, because everything has a breaking point, right? And so with that being said, I want to share with you all that I am going to be hosting another class. This one's not going to be free. It was free last year, but this one's going to have to be a paid one, as we dive in deeper into the emotional nature of ourselves, how to manage our emotions. Forget being a master. Don't worry about mastering anything. How can you be a better manager, a better steward of your emotions? And I kid you not, once we get that part better managed and become a steward and devoted and committed to ourselves in that type of fashion of worships of self, and not in a way that's puffed up. When I say worship of self, I'm talking about really honoring you in all facets of yourself as a fully divine being and a fully human being, and allowing that merging to bring you into a more completed, whole, present part of yourself. And in doing that, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, your money gonna get better. If it's not already doing good, it can get better. Your relationships and how you relate to people will become better, and your ability to discern will strengthen, because that's going to be so important for 2023, y'all. Discernment. And y'all know we was talking about that a lot last year, but we're going to keep going in. So I'll be posting that in the community tab this afternoon for those who are interested in going deeply in with their emotional nature and learning that, managing that, and now conjuring up power through that. Well, I look forward to it. I have much love for you all, and I'm really excited is not the right emotional word. Let me look up a word that I want to use because it's not excitement. Although, it's something you could be excited about. Let's look at this. The wheel of emotions. We want, I think the word I'm looking for, happy, powerful, optimistic. I'm inspired, I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic of how this year is going to transition. So I look forward to helping you all, assisting you all, transitioning into a place of power. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and go to my community tab. It'll be up there to this afternoon where you can sign up for the class. And I look forward to connecting with you all again. Much love. This is your friend, your girl, Tahira Divine. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, follow, and hit the like button for this video. Do that and share it. As well as please subscribe by hitting the bell too so that you're notified when I go live or drop a video, and connect with me. My emails and all my socials are on here too. So I definitely look forward to connecting with you all. All right, much love. Bye, y'all.